welcome to our podcast, the Coffee Shop Convos. My name is Carl. I'm with Hannah.
Hello, I am Hannah, and today we are here with Allessio, who is here to talk about his company, Scansan. Hello, Allessio. How are you today? Tell us about Scansan. Sorry.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me here today, and it's a pleasure to have to be here. So Scansan, I found Scansan in 2022. It's almost 2.5 years that we run the company. We are now, I started, that was just me messing around, and now we are 16 in the company. When I say messing around is because I've got a technical background as a software engineer. Therefore, I was able to start to write a little bit of code to test out my ideas, my hypothesis. And then once I validated these with the wider market, then I've decided to create the whole company.
I know you do property investments sort of thing.
Yes.
But could you go further into an explanation of what you do? So
in a nutshell is property investment. So we start with what is the problem. As it stands now, normal people, everyday people, us, we cannot really invest in properties unless we have a big deposit. Now, the bank, what they do, they calculate from your salary, 4 times your salary. What is your salary? And they say, brilliant, you have a mortgage. If you have 100K salary, you can have a mortgage of 400K. You can give us 150 or 100K deposit. So now you can get a mortgage of 300K. Loan to value of a property is usually 75%. Therefore, you have to put around 20-25% as a deposit. And the bank says, brilliant, yeah, we can move forward. Now, these obviously create a big, massive gap between the people that have 150K disposal to buy a property and people that, unfortunately, they don't have these 150K. So then I've decided to democratize the property investment. How? Thanks to Scansan, everybody can invest in properties with as little as 5K. So once you invest those 5K, you can get an ownership of a certain percentage of the property that you would like to invest into. And on that, the percentage, you get the monthly rental yield of that property based on the 5K. And at the same time, you can get appreciation or depreciation of the share that you just buy into that property.
I noticed you use Scansan AI for most of your properties. What is it essentially?
I needed to have an automated system that could give me a good understanding of any area in London or in UK about properties. I could be an expert in properties in certain different area in London, but I cannot be an expert in the whole of UK. Therefore, whenever a landlord comes to me and say, I've got my property in Rugby, I don't know nothing about Rugby. How would I know if that property will make money at some point, or if now it's making money, and what is the valuation of this property? So I created my own agent that I could communicate it with. At the same time, with my engineers, we created data and collect all the data about all the information of properties. Thanks to my AI, I got to know the valuation of every property in UK. I got to know any information about any property in UK since 1995. I got to know the rent, the market, the sales trend and the patterns. So whenever a landlord comes to me from Rugby, says, I've got this property, I just write the address of this property into my AI, and my AI gives me all the information about that property. And I can say to the landlord, either yes, the valuation of the property that you bring in is correct, or we might need to adjust this valuation because based on the trend market, based on how the pattern is going, or based on, it can even happen that the valuation that the landlord is giving to us is too low because they might don't know their own area where they live. So we can say, look, you think your valuation of your property is 200K, but actually it's 350. So thanks to our AI, then at the moment, at the beginning, I built it just for myself. And then I said, you know what, I'm into the centralized world. I can give all of those information to everyday people.
Yeah.
So now it's open and free. If everybody goes into scansanproperties.com, the AI is called Property Assistant for Agent or Property Analysis Assistant, PAA. Everybody can go there, PAA.scansanproperties.com. They can register, put their email address, name and surname to make sure they don't get spam.
Yeah.
Then everybody can use PA. Even you can. Even you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You can use it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I wanted to move to rugby or from rugby, I could use I could input all the information, what I want, and then it would find it for us.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That sounds very
It's as simple as question. The simplest questions. Like you can say, tell me what is the best area to go and rent at £1,000 per month.
Mm-hmm.
And then can even happen that you create a profile with your AI and you say, I would like to have an area with a park. Imagine you love being close to the park. And you say, yeah, exactly. So you say, I want to pay, my max is £1,000 in rent every month. I want to be really close to a park or really close to a stadium or really close to the river. I would like to have a flat, a studio flat or bedroom, 2-bedroom, because they're the one I want to rent it out or sub-rent, all sublet, all of those things. And you just talk with your property assistant. That's why I call it property assistant, because what I would like from people is to talk and to get an understanding about what they would love to go, what they would like to have. In that way, they can feel no one is selling them nothing. So they just get this understanding for free, and they can find the right place where they want to live for the next, couple of months, year, 5 years, or perhaps they want to buy a property there.
What sort of insights can Property Assistant give to local estate agents, and what are the benefits that you can get from using it?
Nice. Interestingly, local estate agents are the best people to work with when it's about their single area. So they are the expert of their area. And there is no AI can be better than them. So what we would like to do is we go to those experts and we say, at the moment, you spend 100% of your time to get leads. What we do is, thanks to the PA, now you have people there. First, they started to get information through the PA. They talk with their property assistant. Property assistant can tell them which area is better suited for them, for their needs. And then out of that, because the estate agents can partner with Scansan, they say, I like this property. I can open straight away the web page of this property. And then I go straight away to the estate agent. Now, out of those 100 people, we funnel and we vet these 100 people, and we give to the estate agent only those people that are looking to purchase those properties, their dream house, and they are confident to buy this house. Now, for example, one user, a couple of weeks ago, they said, I've got 50K deposit. I've got 2 kids. And I would like to buy a house with a front garden and a back garden. Now, our AI was able to identify the area that was best suitable for them, not because they just wanted a 2-3 bedroom, but because they wanted a specific property, a property that they can afford with giving a deposit of 50K. Therefore, cannot be a property that costs 1 million, because you cannot give a deposit of 50K. A property that is close to park, but more specifically to playground. Because they had kids, our AI was able to recommend those areas that have 50K deposit with a park and playground. And on the top of that, you have amenities like tube stations or like pharmacy or supermarket, and as well the Ofsted school. Because when you move into a new area, you don't want to travel for 30 minutes to 1 hour to drop the kids and come back, because you just wasted 2 hours of your life, right? So you want the best Ofsted school within that area. So this is where you see the powerful of the AI coming in, because the AI can handle a huge amount of data, started to vetting everything. Then once we give to the user that specific property connected to the state agents, that is our partner, that is a very warm lead. That is not 100 people that we just push them with the hope to buy something. That is one person that is going to buy that property. So now the estate agent have been saving 99 hours that they can use it to either upskill themselves, or they can spend on selling more properties, or they can enjoy these 99 hours with their family and with their kids. So the most precious assets is time. What we are doing in here, we are giving back time to the estate agents that they can spend whatever they want to.
I'm sorry, I was just thinking this would be really helpful for young people who might want to buy their first house. And I'm like, because I know I would have no idea where to look or what I'd want in an area or any of it. So would you say it's massively helpful for people who are trying to buy their first home or look for their first home outside of their parents' house or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Look, I was talking with Tracy yesterday or 2 days ago, right? And we have data about rugby. Okay, I don't know nothing about rugby. I'm literally ignorant about rugby properties, rugby market, and whatsoever. So I said, you know what? I've got PA. I'm going to use PA as a normal user, right? So I went there and I started to say, okay, I didn't even know the postcode of rugby. So I started to ask, what is the postcode? And then out of that, it was giving me postcode like CV2, CV3 and 4, and then 7, 8, if I'm not getting wrong. At the same time, I was seeing PA was telling me, because I said, just give me info about rugby as a CV. So it creates a summary of information, good information that are related to sales and rent in rugby. So now I was able to understand the data behind rugby and the reasons why CV2 area is less expensive than CV8 area. Because I was able to see the average of the property. So if I want to buy a property that costs 100K, I know I might have opportunity to go into CV2 area, but probably not in CV8. Because in CV8, I found property that goes from 400K onwards. So this was brilliant, because I didn't know nothing about the area. And in a couple of seconds, believe me, I was able to get a good understanding about the market trend in rugby.
That's incredible. That was just a question that I thought, oh, that would be really interesting to dive into. So let's talk about Scansan Academy. Can you explain what the Scansan Academy is and how it can help local people upskill themselves? It says. Can you explain a bit about that?
Interestingly, with Academy, what I wanted to do is I want to give the opportunity to people to learn practically what are the major things that people has to learn if they want to start anything in properties, if they want to start anything into the blockchain, if they want to start anything into AI.
What type of people is it tailored to, and how does it benefit them?
How will it benefit?
How will it benefit them?
Like,
PA.
Who will most benefit from it? Benefits, what are they?
Right. The PA, it doesn't have only one specific audience. The reasons why is the same as ChatGPT. You don't want to benefit just a certain amount of people or an elite. You want to benefit as much people as possible. So therefore, with a property assistant, I definitely would. My goal is always give to people the knowledge to move forward in their life. Okay.
Yeah.
I always say, don't give. I saw you, Carl.
A blob.
You just dropped
Yeah.
it. I always say, don't give people fish, but teach them how to fish it. Okay, how to fish. Yeah.
Do what you will with the fish.
Yeah, exactly.
We love fish.
So exactly. So in that way, you give them the opportunity and the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Okay.
Yeah.
So if as much knowledge you gain, more in control you are of yourself. So this is what I wanted to do with PA. At the same time, we offer 3 different tiers. So basic, there is a free one. You get lots of information about properties. And then you have the pro, there is £20 per month, where you get even more information about sales, listing, rent listing, and whatsoever. And then we got the enterprise, where we say to each estate agent, you can have this product embedded into your website with your brand, with your logo. People will be able to use the PA within your brand and your estate agent with your product. So we just white label and give it to them. So Academy could be really good for the community just to learn and put something in practice. Because so I'm working with different University of Sheffield, University of East London, and UCL, because the program that we are working on with University of Sheffield, I worked with a master's student and a PhD student, because one thing is studying and do research, and another thing is put everything in practical. And then what happens then when you need to change from theory to making money? Unfortunately, in this world, to make money, you have to have knowledge. You cannot make money if you don't have knowledge, right?
It's like, give me money, I don't know anything. You can't do that.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Yeah. So that's why that is where Academy comes in. With this first module, we teach everything about property, blockchain or Web3, and artificial intelligence. We are trying to understand what are the other sector areas where people would like to get more knowledge. At the same time, people can read the blog post that I write every 2 weeks. I write a blog post. Before, I used to write it every week. Now I don't have that much time anymore on my hands.
Be successful at that stuff.
So at least I always keep it my 2 weeks, because it's important that I give back to the world. And then and we give as well reports. So every month we create 3 reports on the website where we show rental and sales for that specific month. At the moment is in London, but then if somebody says, oh, can I get reports in rugby, for example, then we send them specifically reports for rugby. Oh, actually now you can even do, we pushed a new feature that is when you go into PA, you can select and add reports for the specific postcode that you want. So my AI is sending you every month automatically the reports that are most fitted for what you want. So yeah, the Academy is a very powerful tool for all of those people that would like to make the next step and gather more knowledge. I was talking with my nephew. So I mentor founders and other people. I got 2 alumni. So my nephew, he asked me how I can be successful in my life. And I said to him, first is about knowledge, because no one wants to be surrounded or around a person that has no knowledge. You get attracted from somebody if they have something that you don't have.
Yeah.
And then you can merge together your knowledge with their knowledge and be even more powerful. So, and I say to my nephew, I said, look, the first things that you need to do is learning. And I say, and then he said, yeah, but I've got a problem. I can research on Google, but there are lots of information that I get overwhelmed and I don't know from where to start.
Yeah.
That's why with Academy, so he joined Academy, and the plan is to create a proper academy where people can join, start, and go through the journey where they come out from the journey with a really powerful knowledge and practical knowledge. And then at a certain point, if they are really good, then they can work within Scansan, or they can be our partner, because if I train somebody and I tell them everything that is related to the company, that is related to the what that I know, that is related to the market, why now I should let them go? I can work with them because now I know their level. I know the level of knowledge that they are on. And I say, let's work together. You got that knowledge. We can work together and find the right situation, the right case scenario that you want. So within life, your net worth is your network. So more expand your network and more you can increase your net worth. Hence why the academy is really powerful.
So, sorry, just me wondering, from my curiosity, if either I or Carl wanted to join the academy, how would we go about doing that, do you think?
Interestingly, I think we are running a program with Unity Hub. I don't want to make mistakes now, where we give 100% discount on the academy. So if you go on the website, scansanproperties.com, then you go into Academy link. There is a menu on the top right where there is Academy. And then you register yourself. I think with Unity Hub, we have a special convention where we give the 100% discount. But that is the first things. Otherwise I think the cost is now £20. So we apply a discount that is around 93%. Simply because I think is the best tool where people at the moment can learn and go through the journey of learning about properties, internet, blockchain, new technology. And then at the end, finish with lots of knowledge that then we can use together.
Okay.
So yes, scansanproperties.com academy.
Yeah, I just was thinking, I wonder how do we get the people in on this? Do you want to do? We're on question 7.
The last question.
Well, the second to last.
Second to last question.
We're nearly done.
We're nearly done.
We're nearly released.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're wondering of what impact it will have on
what impacts will your academy have
and the assistant
and this
AI
assistant will have on the rugby for the next 2 years.
What are the future plans? What do you see changing within rugby if or when you come to rugby, do you see yourself? Well, I was talking too much. Go on, answer. I was rambling on. I was you're gonna get what was the question again? Sorry, go on.
So next 2 years, I think next 2, 5, 10 years, they are going to be really interesting years ahead. So we are in a situation where the only limits that we have is our creativity. Yes. So I know in rugby, lots of people, they would like to stay in rugby and not going and buy properties outside. At the same times, as I was saying before, what I was saying is this person, they asked for 50K, I've got 2 kids, I want a house with the back garden, front garden. Whenever people move from their house to a new house, they want to as well have something surrounding them where they can go out and they can have fun. They can have amenities around. You know, no one wants to live in a desert city as like where it's just me and nobody else, because where I'm going to have fun. And then I need to go, get my car and traveling to go and have fun somewhere else. So I think something that could work really well is we work as well with constructions company, where constructions company, rather than just decided where to build and building straight away. So what they do actually now with the PA, they understand the market. So using PA, they can see there is a lot of demand of 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom in this specific area. Therefore, I'm not going to build a building that is 4 bedroom flat, because no one is going to buy. Everybody wants a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. So now what happens, they use PA way ahead, probably 12 months ahead or 6 months ahead, to say, okay, what is the market in here, what they are looking for. So then I can build what they are looking for. I'm going to sell off plan straight away. So you see now is a game changer, because before was more like I'm going to build and try to sell as much as possible. Now instead is I'm building something that people already, I know they want to. So as soon as they see the building and they ask how many bedroom is 1 or 2, you can pick and choose which one. People are going to say, brilliant, I was looking for this 1 or 2 bedroom, right? So I can see the next 2 years, if is starting to adopting now, I can see how constructions building can build what the market wants, what the market needs. So in that way, people can buy their dream house. Builders can build the dream house that people dreams about it.
Yeah.
So the money they start to go around faster and better. More the money goes around, and more the economy increase and started to grow. And then what happens is, even on a commercial sector, is really hard, because we have been through COVID, where the commercial from being really peak high went in a peak down. So we were in a bear market during COVID, because everybody don't needed commercial anymore. So people started to convert commercial building into residential. That it makes sense, because if nobody needs commercial, why having this building empty? Let's convert into residential. But now if you have a lots of people and they don't have nothing to do, no one is going to buy there anymore, because people in there, they're going to say, well, don't buy here because there is nothing to do in here. Yeah, you buy the house, but unless you have a park, unless you have a sea, unless you have some kind of attraction, if there is no attractions, it's like that it's not worth it to buy a house here. So the valuation started to go down. So I think the next 2-3 years, realistically, is increasing the attractions, perhaps around rugby, make that connected, for example, with the PA, we know we can understand and get to know information if there is going to be a regeneration in a certain area. So then if there is going to be a certain regeneration in a certain area, we flag that already and we let people know. So people will know that in there you will have a cinema, you will have a coffee shop, you will have a nice park, you will have a playground. You can have certain attractions for a certain people. So then people will start to buy. So once you create that, and then you build the right properties, people will come. Because even me, I would love to buy perhaps a house in Rugby if there is something to do, or if there is an investment to do. Because I know from the last research that I've done yesterday or 2 days ago, I basically find out in a couple of seconds the rental market is in a high demand in Rugby. Okay, so there are certain situations where thanks to Academy, you can learn what are the best situation for you to capitalize on. So we teach that into the Academy too, because you want to capitalize into any kind of scenario, but you have to have the knowledge to know that. Tokenization side, in the next 2 years, the world is going through the tokenization. So 5 years from now, I believe tokenization is going to, like AI, is going to grow faster.
Yeah.
Now, I started like 2 years ago, and I see a lot of people that now, before I was going around and no one knew about it, tokenization. Now, whenever I take a taxi to go to the airport, then even the driver, they were like, yeah, I know tokenization. I would like to invest. And a lot of like drivers, at least 3 drivers, they say to me, can I give you 5K now? Because I want to invest. So as you can see, it's already within the mass adoption. So in the next 5 years, it's going to be definitely adopted by a lot of people. And it's easy because at the moment people use stock market and everybody can buy stocks on the market. So with the tokenization, it's going to be the same. Rather than a stock market with companies, you have a stock market for properties. And that is what we are building with Scansan. So the primary market is where the tokens goes. And then the secondary market is where everybody can trade those tokens and make, let's say, responsible amount of money within those tokens. Responsible because this cannot be a way of gambling. So always be careful on making sure the financial side, you are always responsible of everything that you do.
Yeah. Sorry. We got the thing. Did you see the thing saying 5 minutes?
We got 5 minutes
left on the
I
call.
think it's like 2
Nice.
minutes now.
2 minutes left.
So-
Is it?
Okay.
We might as well.
Let's wrap this up.
Sorry, not to rush you.
Not to rush it. Is there a way to extend it?
I don't know actually.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
We can have another podcast later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in Paris next week and in Dubai, so we can find time.
So, like maybe like quickly, why should local agents get on board now? Why should we sign up? Why should we pick you? And that sort of sense. Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's for the same reasons I was saying before about the warm leads. So we don't just send to estate agents cold leads. If they partner with us, estate agents, then we can send the users that comes to us, they are looking for that specific property that they have, sending straight away to the estate agent. So they don't have, basically we do the 75% of the work. The only thing that they need to do is the 25% of doing the right work for them, for that specific customer, and making sure they treat that customer perfectly.
All right. We're still here.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sorry. Sorry. That was the last question we have for you. Thank you so much for joining us on the Coffee Shop Convos. Coffee Shop Convos. Yes. Thank you so much for talking with us. And thank you for explaining everything and answering all my miscellaneous questions because I'm like, ooh, interesting. Yeah.
You guys have been brilliant. Well done for what you're doing. It was amazing. You two, like, perfect. Well done. And thank you for having me here. And make sure you look into the academy.
Yeah, the academy. Look at the academy. And so where we can find you on scansan.com. Yes.
Yes. Scansan.com or on Instagram or LinkedIn. My name is Allessio. Allessio, Scannicchio, SCANNICCHIO.
Yeah.
Allessio can link you.
Scan. Yeah, and obviously you can come into the Unity Hub and ask about it, can't you? I'm pretty sure you can.
Yeah.
They wouldn't say no.
Yes, definitely. We are already partnered with Unity Hub. So Scansan is already partnered with Unity Hub, and Swide Academy. And please join as well. Use PA. It's very simple. Just go into scansanproperties.com.
It sounds like if maybe in the very far distant future where I like, maybe I should move out of my house, I can like go, what was that thing what was Scansan? I would remember Scansan. I wouldn't like.
Yeah, but even now you can always learn about properties and ask questions. The great things about the property system, you don't need to have property knowledge. You can simply ask a normal question, any questions that pop up into your brain, and then the AI will take you into the journey to learn more about property.